The peace of Christ be with you, my friend, and once again a very hearty welcome to the Divine Roses channel. In this video, we shall be reflecting on the spiritual vices as explained by St. John of the Cross. The first in the list is spiritual pride. Let's have a look at some of the signs of spiritual pride. First, fervor in spiritual work but done with impure intentions, for self-satisfaction and self-glorification with a motive of reputation or fame. Second, desire to dominate and instruct others. Third, desire for recognition of great spirituality. Fourth, desire to receive praise for virtues and religious practices. Fifth, a need to portray oneself as holy and knowledgeable. And sixth, does not want others to appear more holy or more successful than oneself. The second spiritual vice is spiritual greed. Let us see some of the signs connected to it. First, discontent with the spirituality God gives them and unhappy because they are not given the spiritual things they desire. Second, seeking to hear and read more about spiritual things but not actually practicing necessary virtues, collecting much knowledge without putting it into practice. Third, attachment to spiritual objects, desire to multiply objects for the sake of novelty and interest rather than to please God. Fourth, much spiritual seeking with impure intentions and motives, inconsistent in devotions by always changing them, seeking own preference and pleasure rather than God's. Now let's listen to some of the signs related to spiritual lust. First, derives great satisfaction and pleasure in spiritual exercises, which develops into an inordinate love and attachment to those feelings of pleasure. Second, avoids prayer if it is not enjoyable. Third, spiritual life and prayer is based on gratifications of sensory pleasure and not on love of God. Now these are some of the signs of spiritual anger. First, when spiritual consolations end, they become embittered, moody, annoyed, and frustrated because they aren't finding delight and pleasure in their spiritual exercises. They are easily irritated. Sometimes none can tolerate them. Second, indiscreet zeal, angry at others' sins and reprove them in a way contrary to spiritual meekness, keeping watch on others with uneasy zeal. Third, becoming angry at oneself for having imperfections. This impatience is not humility. It is prideful as they desire to accomplish great things and are annoyed that they are not perfect. They take on too much and then are frustrated when they can't do it all. Fourth, impatience in waiting on God for His timing. They have not the patience to wait for that which God will give them when it pleases Him. Some of the signs of spiritual gluttony are as follows. First, lured by delight and satisfaction in their religious practices. Second, seeking a type of pleasure and not genuinely seeking God. Third, striving for spiritual savor, taste, or experience rather than spiritual purity. Fourth, motivated to do penances not by reason and obedience but by an appetite for pleasure found in it. Fifth, make up own penances and goes to extremes in them, avoids and disobeys authorities regarding penances, changes penances that they don't like. Sixth, desire to do only what they feel inclined to do. Now let's listen to some of the signs of spiritual envy. First, feeling annoyed and unhappy about the spiritual goods, knowledge, and virtues of others. Second, unhappiness about another's progress in the spiritual life. Third, annoyance because they themselves are not praised. They long for preference in everything. Fourth, when others are praised, they try to depreciate them as much as they can. Now let's listen to some of the signs related to spiritual sloth. First, They are averse to challenges in the spiritual life and avoid anything which is contrary to pleasure. They withdraw from prayer or anything hard if they do not receive satisfaction in it. Second, they want to bend God's will to their will. They do not surrender to God but want God to submit to them. And third, they flee from everything hard and are weak in fortitude, not willing to do what is hard or unpleasant. Thank you for staying tuned with me till the end. Hope this video will spiritually uplift you. God bless you.